Hello, welcome back to Electra. Thank you so much for joining me for this last video of 2016. And today I want to show you a quick little blush tip that not only makes your skin really look like it's glowing and makes the blush look like it's coming through your skin instead of just kind of being placed on top of it, but it's also going to give you perfect blush placement for your face, which I know is a really big question that I always get asked. So the only thing you're going to need is your favorite blush. I have a nice pinky peach one that I used, a blush brush. This is the Wayne Goss airbrush. I don't know if it's available, but any blush brush will do. And then you have a choice here. You can either use a really thin concealer. I use the Makeup Forever Lift Concealer in shade number 3, which is just about a shade lighter than my current skin tone, or you can have a little bit of your foundation or tinted moisturizer on hand, whatever you have. If you have dark circles though, this is great to put a little bit of corrector under here, and then you can follow up with this. Now I go ahead and put all of my makeup on, and then this is the very last step I do. And this is also a great alternative for tomorrow night when everyone's going to be going out for New Year's Eve and focusing on their eyes and lips. You can focus on really pretty clean skin, and you will totally stand out from everybody else, and you won't have to spend a ton of time putting on a lot of makeup, which is always a bonus. So I'm taking just my kind of pinky pink blush here, couple swipes, knocking off any excess, and part of this look is where you place the blush. So feel your cheekbones, this is kind of bone right here, and wherever it sticks out the most, which is right here on me, that's where we're going to apply the blush. And you might be thinking, wow, that's really high up. That's okay, because we want to lift the cheeks and we want to visually have, the impact be right up here. And you're thinking, but that's going to look ridiculous. Well, at first it will. Put on a little bit more than you think, because here's the thing. We are going to take away what we don't want. So I put the blush way up here, right on my cheekbone. Don't worry about this kind of fleshy, fatty part of your cheek. If that were all gone and you just had your cheekbones, they stick out the farthest, about right here. So I'm going to town with my blush. Now, sort of the general rule is you want kind of a 2-finger test, so you don't want your blush coming any closer to your nose than 2 fingers. And you're like, but you put blush everywhere. So here's what we're going to do. As a finishing touch, if you don't need concealer, you can just use a little bit more of your foundation. But I have a little bit of corrector for my dark circles, but I'm going to use another concealer to kind of double correct. If you don't have this problem, again, just use a little bit of your foundation, or you can use a nice thin liquid concealer. But I'm putting a little bit on my ring finger, right? And I'm going to start sort of on the sides of my nose and go right on top of that cheekbone. And then I'm going to go right down the sides of my nose. And I'm going to make sure to cancel off that redness. Now, one important thing to remember, you don't want this color to be too bright, because while we do want it to look, highlighted and lifted, we don't want to look scary. So you don't want to go too light with this. So if you're worried about that, just use your foundation. But I'm pressing it in with my finger. As you can see, we're starting to kind of etch out exactly where the blush should be. And I'm just going right on top of my cheekbone as if it were a shelf. I'm just going right on top. I'm taking it all the way back to my hairline, around the nose to cancel out any redness. And this is sort of the more natural version of when people would do the triangle of concealer. This is sort of a more natural version, and doing it after the blush really makes the color look like it's coming through your skin instead of sitting on top. So thanks so much for watching. Happy New Year. I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you next year.